Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I wanted to do a video about the first 4 episodes of the new season of House of the Dragon, Season 2. This is based off of the George R. R. Martin novel Fire and Blood, which is a novel I have not read. I'm still sort of on my boycott of George R. R. Martin until he releases The Winds of Winter, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I just wanted to sort of give my feelings so far about the season. And I watched season 1 pretty recently, within the last year, but I never really did a review for it because I felt like I was too late. And now that season 2 is ongoing and releasing currently, episode 5 just came out tonight, but I haven't watched that. I just finished episode 4 like 5 minutes ago before I saw recording. And oh my god, I this is an amazing show. I am loving it. Just to go off of sort of the final episode of the last season, one of the big questions within the fandom is, are you Team Green or are you Team Black? And my opinion is similar to the actor's opinion of the guy who played Sir Otto Hightower, who is the Hand of the King. And my opinion is the same as his, which is basically they're both terrible. I'm just here for the drama, and I don't really care which side wins. I think, as of the most recent episode, I'm leaning towards Rhaenyra's side, Team Black. The Greens, I'm really not a fan of. I think they're terrible. But I think they're both pretty terrible to begin with. I don't think Rhaenyra is that terrible. Alicent Hightower is okay. Everyone else though is just pretty terrible. I don't like Aemond all that well, although he is my favorite dragon rider, just because I think he's just the coolest looking. He has one eye. He is constantly shitting all over the king. As of the most recent episode 4 that I saw, there was a really great sequence in the beginning of the episode where Aemond and Aegon are at the council table with all the different people involved in the council, like the Hand, and you have Alicent there, you have Larys, who is sort of like the spy master Varys type character. And a couple other people, and in front of all of them, Aemond just starts talking in High Valyrian, and it's just like talking in long sentences. He's flexing his language skills all over Aegon, and Aegon replies with a broken grammar sentence that doesn't even make sense. And you just see Aegon just completely wither. And I absolutely love that. And Aemond just steps up and plans out the entire battle that happens in that episode later, which I think is one of the most exciting battles that I've seen in this show. There hasn't been that many. I would say it's up there with the battles in Game of Thrones. The Battle of Blackwater, for example. It wasn't as long as that battle, but it was still just absolutely amazing watching the two dragon riders, Rhaenys and Aemond, fighting together. And I love the sort of different strategies that Aemond was using, hiding his dragon, waiting to join the battle, and then hiding sort of by the ocean behind the keep until she was flying over, and then just locks on to her dragon. And I think that was the saddest moment of the show so far. It was pretty gut-wrenching to hear the dragon just screaming and slowly being killed. And I'm pretty upset that Rhaenys is now dead, because she was one of my favorite of the Targaryens in the show. I wouldn't say she's good-hearted, because most of the Targaryens have a really mean streak to them, but oh my gosh, I feel like everything's just gonna devolve even more now that she's not in the picture, because she was very competent, very smart, knowledgeable, everything. So I'm not that hopeful for the future, but that means that it's going to just get spicier for me. The drama is just going to get better, And that's what I'm here for. I am completely disconnected from Game of Thrones while I watch this. I am not thinking about that show. Anytime there's a mention of A Song of Ice and Fire or The Prince That Was Promised, and that has been happening a lot in the last 2 episodes or so with Alicent and Rhaenyra talking to each other, there's really not much to do with the main series, and I'm very happy about that. But anytime those elements start creeping forward, I'm kind of like covering my eyes because it's like PTSD for me. I did not like Game of Thrones whatsoever after season 4. So anytime there's like a mention of that, I feel like I'm, getting stabbed with a needle and being reminded of just the incredible fuck up that was the second half of that series. That's a whole nother discussion. I can go all day on that. And I have in my personal life to friends who have been trapped with me and having to listen to me rant for hours on end. But one thing that I really enjoyed about the early season of season 2, which I haven't really touched on, is that it doesn't really waste time re-establishing everybody. Damon at this point. He's played by Matt Smith. He is amazing. He was definitely the show-out star for season 1. And although he's not as involved in season 2 as I would hope, him in the first few episodes is amazing. He's just sort of biding his time, just watching what his family is doing. And he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it myself. And keeps going behind their backs and just sort of cutting everything down immediately. He doesn't wait. He is a man of action. And his dragon is also very cool. He also has just really awesome armor. He has like obsidian kind of looking armor. So I'm love that kind of shit in my fantasy series, is sick and cool armor sets. I'm also a Dark Souls, Soulsborne fan. So, and I just played the Elden Ring DLC, and there's some really cool armor in that game that make me think of Targaryens. So, I'm loving the show, obviously. Daemon hanging out in Harrenhal in the second half of these episodes has been amazing, although it does kind of make one think of Scooby-Doo as he is going up and down the hallways, getting these weird visions going on. I don't really know what's going on with that, but we do meet a woman who sort of reminds me of the one character, and I think A Clash of Kings, who they run into, that is not part of the show, but is sort of like a Child of the Forest type character, that I believe it's Arya who meets her, and she gives a lot of prophecies, and it was that sort of character. I was thinking of that character in Clash of Kings while I was watching that episode, or that section of the episode with Daemon, and my brain was just going and going, and I did see online before I saw the episode that this character is supposed to be in her 300 years or so. She's been around for a very long time. And that's something that's just, amazing, because we don't see that often. People seemingly long-lasting of age. It's like Aes Sedai from Wheel of Time. She's been around a long time. And the only time we ever see that in the series is with Melisandre, who was revealed in season 6? 6? Yeah. Before Jon's resurrection, that she's actually in her 400s, I believe, was the confirmed age of Melisandre. So I'm very curious about her background. I don't know if the books touch on that. I would not read it. And even if I do read it, I have heard that it's not the best. So I'm happy that this show is around. That way I can watch it and just kind of enjoy the content anyways. Because I'm not going to boycott the TV shows. It's a different medium. George R. R. Martin is barely involved. At least I hope he isn't as involved as some people say, where he's completely distracted from writing. But it's his life. It's whatever. I don't care at this point about the books. It's really hard to. Now it's been 13 years as of a few days ago. I believe Thursday or Friday. This is Sunday, June, I think, 13th or 14th that I'm recording this, or July 13th, 14th. So I'm not sure of all that, but I'm just really enjoying this season. I love the sort of rivalry that's going on between Rhaenyra and Alicent, because they're not on screen really at all this season compared to the last season, where they are very much together throughout the entire season. They are definitely separated throughout, and Rhaenyra is being painted as this horrible child killer. In the first episode, I believe maybe second episode, it ends with one of the Targaryen children being murdered and beheaded in his bed because Daemon decided to hire somebody to do that and to kickstart the war and to really provoke them, because Alicent has sort of been usurping the throne from Rhaenyra, because King Viserys, who is her father from season 1, which, by the way, that performance was just fucking amazing. That's one of my favorite performances of the entire show, including Game of Thrones, which that show was full of great performances. But oh my god, that actor, he deserved every award, all of them, even the technical ones. I just loved that character throughout the season. Just what a wonderful performance. But we just sort of get this back and forth of all these different Targaryens, and it was really kind of shocking that Alicent was completely okay with usurping the throne and allowing her son Aegon to become the new king, because he is not the most competent, and we see this a lot in the season. He is just completely ignored by most people in the council that he has. He tries to show that he has power, but no one really cares, and he doesn't really have any wisdom whatsoever. And this is something that Alicent just really tore into him this episode about, because she says, like, my father, Sir Otto, the Hand of the King, who you fired, he's been around a fucking long time, and you just threw him away. And also, I was the one running the kingdom for Viserys when he was ill for about 10 or 15 years. And I was able to hold on to this entire nation or whatever in peace, in the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. And Aegon is just completely fucking it up. Not all his fault, though. I mean, we have tons of people vying for power, trying to advance their own agendas, but it is just fascinating to see this hurricane of movement and power struggles, because this is what George R. R. Martin does best, in my opinion, in the books, is the whole Game of Thrones, as they call it, this sort of game of trying to take power from wherever the current regime is. And it is just, it's my shit. I love it. I don't really know what else to talk about. I've mentioned sort of all the characters that I want to talk about. I think that one fucking guy, I can't even remember his name. I just hate him just so much. I think he's the lamest. God, he is Alicent's sort of lover. What's his name? I can't remember. I had it on my head, but I'm recording it past midnight. This is actually my bedtime. I'm usually passed out by this point, but I wanted this video out in the morning, so. But that character I just do not care for whatsoever. I think it Corbin? God, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, but he is lame as fuck. Anybody who has seen the show knows exactly who I'm talking about. It's that guy. I don't care for him. I want him out of the story. I was really hoping at the end of this last episode, after the battle, that we would see his burnt corpse, but we don't see that. He's still alive. So I still got to deal with him for a little while. I don't know anything about the book. I don't know where any of these characters end up. I'm not as familiar with this time period and A Song of Ice and Fire lore. I know a lot more about Robert's Rebellion and onwards, but yeah, this is what a great show. I'm really enjoying it. I think I am gonna put it around 9 out of 10 minimum, maybe 9.5 out of 10 if you factor in the first season. So I think that's about all I have today. So thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what you think of this season. I would love to talk about it with some of you who have caught up, and I will have the episode 5 review up soon. I plan to have that at least recorded by Tuesday night, so I have a video coming out Tuesday morning, which I'm very excited about. I will not spoil it just yet, but it's just a day before I release it. It's all done, recorded. I just need to get a thumbnail together and do all that. So thank you all so much for watching again, and please have a great rest of the night.